Hello and welcome to the arc review vlog for, I suppose it's the Greed Island arc. And yeah, I must say I thoroughly enjoyed this one. The basic premise in itself is already quite, though it's definitely nothing exactly, well, it isn't something that we haven't seen, like, done, obviously, like, many times. I mean, our concept of diving into a game is, well, unfortunately, these days it's very often used. However, the way that they do it, like the fact that it was merely used as a transportation device into another island, and that in itself, which was produced by, or created by Gon's father and his friends, and in just that kind of basic idea that it isn't exactly a game in that sense is already quite interesting. And now as a game I found it also to be a rather intriguing. The interesting fact that you have to kind of make that you have to choose between using a card as an actual item or just storing it in your book. Like, you could sacrifice some of those cards to gain an advantage, and it had a huge amount of freaking psychological warfare in it as well, and that was really interesting to see how kind of different psychological traps kind of played in, like how many different styles there were to actually play, and in what manner some people played it. It was really quite interesting, and yeah, like in the end, there was that little subtle nod from um, the fact was that, like, since Ging really Ging whatever really expected Gon to actually finish the game, like it's rather adorable how they created a way for that the fact that Ging had visited the island might have been really just in preparation for the, well, exactly the trick that they used, and there's a really interesting nod from Ging to for Gon, like, hey, find me. I like that. This is a simple, really nice little fact. So yeah, it was really quite interesting. And again, they trained, which admittedly is fine enough. Like, you need training to become stronger, and it was done pretty well, and it was freaking entertaining as all. And we were introduced to Bisky, who I really adore. And as we were so shown Wing earlier, or rather, he did make a little appearance later on. I have a feeling that we'll see more of Bisky later on, which it will be pretty fun because I really adore her. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Again, the show also had a surprising lack of battles. For a shonen battle anime, it had one huge climactic battle, and since we hadn't seen all that many battles up to that point, it was it was refreshing, it was intense, it was entertaining, it was really everything I wanted it to be. And it was also not just a typical battle of just, punching and shouting and screaming and all that, Dragon Ball stuff. That's a freaking horrible derogatory term for any show to be compared. Like, that sounds really awful towards Dragon Ball, but whatever. But rather, it was an intriguing use of the whole game mechanics and how they beat the bombers. Now, speaking of the two kind of antagonists we had, which were Razor and the Bomber, it was interesting that Razor wasn't, like, he kind of took the spotlight away from Bomber for a while, which was, again, kind of interesting, considering that he is the game master. So, yeah, I really also liked that freaking whole volleyball battle. That was really, really good. If you've seen the commentaries, you know what I'm talking about. It was quite exquisite. Yeah, that was pretty freaking fun. There's something to be said about the whole perverted Hisoka, but it's already kind of a really silly running joke, and they don't really. I mean, they draw attention to it, and I really feel like it should be kind of condemned for having such a really reoccurring molestation joke, but, or at least that kind of really rapey feeling there. But I don't know. I don't mind it because I just find it to be so hilarious. And I mean, I'd get on with Hisoka any day of the day, any day of the week, but whatever. It was also one of those interesting facts in this arc was that, like, the fact that Hisoka teamed up with the guys, which was pretty surprising. But it was freaking amazing to see, and the whole, again, that goes back in the volleyball battle, because it was a lot of fun. The final battle with the bomber was also, like, the fact that Gon was able to sacrifice his hand seemed so cruel, and it, like, that was such an interesting battle in the way that it again associated with, or its use of the Nen like was quite interesting in the way that, since it is the main provider for, well, durability and power in the show, the fact that since the bomber didn't have a lot of protection for that one kick that Gon delivered to him, that was really quite cool. Also, we've seen now Gon develop, well, his ability, or that kind of special attack, the rock, paper, scissors, which will be interesting to see how that will develop and when it will be finished. So yeah, I really do like this arc. It was freaking amazing, and the attention to detail with the whole island, and how much details there were, and how intricately designed the whole game concept was, and how well they designed the whole, so many cards and spells, and how many interesting side quests there were. It was a lot of fun. I really liked that. The fact that they had so many interesting aspects to that little island there, which was just one arc, I really love it. Really quite love it. I wonder if rest of the people who helped Ging make the game, if they will show up at any point, because I would love to see them. But so far it was, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this. Mostly because I'm a huge card game nerd, and I really enjoyed that aspect, and it was really well done, though it maybe was a tad bit unbalanced. But the fact that it provided so many interesting possibilities, and the use of spell cards was really quite good. It was really interesting, and I really liked it. But that being said, I'm gonna move on to the next arc. So, that was a lot of fun. I might actually watch the arc again at some point, because it was, like, it might be my favorite arc, so, you know. Oh, I should probably address the issue of Gon's and Killua's, let's just call it a bromance, since they really do share this rather fun bond. Like, they do have a very, like, it's very deep, but I don't see it as, like, first of all, they're kids, so that already is kind of sets that kind of a bar tone for it to be not a romantic relationship at all. And also, they really do give off this, like, they really feel like brothers, as a matter of fact, which is kind of interesting considering that Killua's brothers are assassins. And Gon doesn't have brothers. At least we don't know of them, so yeah. It's kind of interesting how those two just work together so well. I just absolutely adore this dynamic between the two of them. Now, I would love to see more of Kurapika and Leorio, of course, but the focus on these two really pays off. It's so much fun. Yeah. I want to say that the show is at its finest when it doesn't fight, but I haven't been disappointed by any of the fights, so yeah. But with that, I'll move on to the next arc, and I thank you very much for watching. It's my pleasure for you, so I hope to see you all in the next video, which should already be up. So, thank you for watching. Ganmu out.